I expect. What's the deal here? Are we? Do
It's
we have
lively.
folks come? Okay, I'll be
Yeah.
nice.
People ask questions all the time.
You're the boss.
Stop. See, that's the intro that I made.
All right.
See, I'm actually good sometimes. I'm making these. Thank you very much. Oh no. Hi, you guys are watching the Mac and Cheese podcast. As you guys know, this is kind of new this season. Not really. And I am joined tonight by one of my friends. As you guys know, I've already mentioned you kind of in chat in another episode. So you guys are finally meeting my friend Ryan.
Oh no.
Stop! Be nice. And I did tell them this is your first podcast too. So they're
just lots of silly things, but never anything that piqued my interest enough, or I felt like I had enough knowledge to be there.
Okay, whatever.
This one I could talk for hours though.
Oh, yay! We love that. So as you know, we have Nate or Gorilla in chat. That's Gorilla.
That picture is just phenomenal.
Wait until you see this one. Boom.
Oh my god.
And then this is one of my friends from Chicago.
I mean, I'm sorry, but it's true.
He's a Packers fan.
Oh, good man. Okay, no, it's fine.
His parents are Bears fans.
Oh, well, you can always get emancipated, I guess.
Do you want to talk about the game a little bit? Or do you want to
the last one or the next one?
The last one's silly. Come on. Bears.
I mean, the last one is it's everything you expect.
True.
I mean, it's one of those things where even when your heart tells you no, your brain still tells you yes. Mm-hmm. 11 for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think that they have the guts to win. I genuinely think that's what it is. I think they're good enough to win, mm-hmm. but I don't think they have the guts to win. Mm-hmm. We didn't deserve to win that game.
No.
But they don't have the guts to beat us. I genuinely think that's what it's come down to. It's a mental block. It's not a physical block.
Agreed. And I will tell you guys now, I did hear Ryan and Mr. Gorilla screaming at that game. We were all screaming, though, with that field goal.
There's something a little extra in there. Plus, I think we'd be having a very different conversation if they were sitting at 6-4 going into that Niners game.
Right.
And it's more about, hey, are they going to sneak in versus, hey, they have a chance to still win this division.
It's crazy that the Packers still have a chance to win. It's crazy.
I don't agree with that. I don't think it's crazy. Oh. I don't think the Vikings have played any better football than we have.
No.
I think the Lions certainly have. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, a 7-3 team should be in the running for a division unless you're in the division with the Chiefs.
Right, but the Chiefs are undefeated or not undefeated now. So it's thank you, Bills.
Yeah, thank you, Josh Allen, our Lord and Savior.
Yeah, it's crazy because, oh no, not my new co-host. Sorry, one of my mods just took care of something. We have mods in chat which can like time people out and stuff. That's what just happened. My co-host just did something, as I have to know. How long she did? Wait, I'm confused. Okay, it's fine. One of the people in chat just got timed out. That's all you have to know for saying something.
I'm just hanging out, Mary. You know what I do. I'm just, this is my off time. I'm just relaxing now.
That is true. I forgot that. Are you officially off the clock?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, technically.
Oh, look who it is. Mr. Gorilla himself.
I just shake my head. That's all I can do. Just shake my head.
Hey, Mr. Gorilla. You know who that is, obviously.
Yeah, that's all I could say is I just shake my head. It's a great Halloween costume, though. If you ever needed that, I guess. Something to pull out of the closet.
It's more than a Halloween costume, my friend.
Yeah, it's a Halloween costume every Sunday.
For 6 years, apparently.
I cannot imagine how sweaty and disgusting that mask smells.
I mean, wait, it's a real gorilla, though. I think you mean.
I chugged a beer out of a cheese head at Oasis a
Oh,
couple of weeks
no!
ago, and
Wait, when
that
was
was
that? When was that?
whose cheese head was it, or when was
No,
it?
I said when. What game was that?
I think it was the Texans game,
Oh, okay.
which I think was deserved. It felt like it was necessary. I had
Mhm.
about a half left, and I was like, you know what? Let's have a good time. It was not the right call. That cheesehead does not belong in the washing machine, and probably had some, I don't even know what could have been in it, but
Oh
it fit the vibes at the time.
no! Oh, true. Do you want to tell the people how we met? Do
I
you even
mean,
know?
it's just Oasis like anything else, right?
No,
I
I
mean,
know, but you know exactly how. Because you're right. But no, not really.
exactly how.
If you want, I can explain it.
I mean, outside of me being an absolute menace and you being
Stop.
like,
Okay, fine.
what
Nope.
the hell's going on over there?
Oh, okay. No. Do you want me to tell it?
Run the show.
So this was at the Jaguars game, and I know this for exact because I do have these pictures, Ryan, and I used one of them in the thumbnail tonight.
Oh, wow. Let's go.
So I actually mentioned to you because I noticed the Wicks jersey actually first.
He sucks, by the way.
Anyways, I noticed the Wicks jersey and I was like, "Hey, is that a Wicks jersey?" And you can tell them your thing behind Wicks because I understand it now.
Oh, I mean, he's just, I went to Syracuse up north, which is known for being a great basketball school. In 45 minutes, they will be playing Texas and losing by 50. But we play ACC football, and you get to see a lot of guys that go to be at a higher level that don't wear our jerseys 90% of the time. Wicks is one of them, and we played a UVA team that was very average, and he made us look like Swiss cheese, no pun intended there. And it was just unbelievable. And when I saw them get him, I said, they're getting a guy that's going to be open 100% of the time. Will he be able to catch the ball when he's open? We'll find out. And I am concerned that he is turning into the next MVS, but I am praying that he does not. AKA a guy that's always open, but can never find a way to catch the ball.
One of my friends, and this is a shout out to Sans Gouda, the podcast. They're a Packers-based podcast from Wisconsin, I believe. They recently coined Wicks, Devontae Wicks is what they recently.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love that to be the case. It's more like Devontae Adams if you had his hands tied behind his back, but
right, or Devontae Adams with his first year.
That's a little bit more accurate. Yeah, I mean, they struggle. Like Watson struggled, as you know, right? You work through it, but the problem in my eyes is it's not the first year.
Right.
And we've seen him be good.
Yeah.
And I think that him being good would be a huge
help
add to this offense that's struggling in a lot of ways. That extra guy that's going to be open, that's not playing the number one corner, that's not playing the number two corner, should be able to do something. And it pisses me off to high heaven that he won't.
Right.
You know how much money I've lost gambling on Dontavian Wicks? You have no idea.
Wait.
One day it's going to work. One day it's going to work. One day I'm going to be the smart one.
There you go. Anyways, so I was like, hey, Wicks, because I was wearing Rasul, because one of you guys, or a couple of you guys know.
Yeah, that's a crazy jersey too, especially since he's gone.
I got this after.
Oh, that's even worse.
Okay, fine then. You're in one of these trains. One of these people in chat right now thinks I should get an upgraded jersey.
I think you can have a jersey of a player that's not on the team as long as they didn't get traded from the team. Like if you have like a Clay Matthews jersey, I have no problem with that because he's a legend and he left and that was it, right?
Yeah.
But
but Matthews was traded too to the Rams.
Was he? I thought he just got released. Maybe I'm wrong. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I guess it's more of a legend than that.
No,
I love Rasul. He's a great player. He's been really good on the Bills still. And he's a big reason why they're winning games.
I know.
But he wasn't part of the youth movement that they wanted to have.
I know.
And it pisses me off because they won't get anybody over the age of 25.
I know. Rasul wished me a happy birthday on Twitter, though. So I have to support.
Oh, okay. Well, then I understand.
When I have to.
You should print out that tweet and attach it to the jersey like a badge or something like that.
Oh, I have screenshots of that.
There you go.
Yeah. Maybe like an iron-on patch or something.
Yeah. Something to be he said it.
Yeah. It's also the 50s jersey because my favorite jersey combination is the 50s. Is the dark green and gold.
I kind of used to love those
Really?
old Color Rush ones that they had too. Those like green and yellow ones like that. Yeah, but
Oh no! Just to let you know, we have a Bears fan in chat. So
that's okay. Like it's fine. It's all right. They can be sad. Like it's fine.
this is the one that I was telling you about. How I sent them the Bears Still Suck song.
Yeah, like I'm sorry for you for being born 20 miles in the wrong direction. That's all I can say.
Oh, anyways, so I was like, hey Wix, hey Wix, hey Wix, hey Wix, and that's when you and I met officially, and that's when I asked you if you and I can have a picture actually too.
Magic, and look where we are now, huh?
And look at we had someone else join us too, Mr. Girl Man, recently. Actually, you don't know this, Ryan. I met Gorilla Man the same way that I did you. Actually.
By some random, yeah. I mean, it's.
No, yeah.
I mean, it's not random, but it is, right?
Right?
It's a small world, I guess, is the way to put it.
I mean, one of my mom's friends actually pulled Mr. Gorilla to us.
Oh my god!
It was like, hey, I love this costume, or I love this.
It's definitely a place where there is no holding back, and
No.
I've never been in an environment where there were other Packers fans around.
Right.
I'm not from Wisconsin. I didn't grow up there. I'm from New York. There's no Packers fans in New York, or at least very few.
I was gonna say there's a little bit.
Maybe, but not a lot. And I never grew up in an environment where there were other people that would be rooting for my team along with me. It was always, why are you watching this team, Ryan? You're from New York. Or I don't care. Turn on the Giants.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Or turn on the Jets or turn on the Bills,
Right. Anyways, so my mom's friend Michelle, the one that you met actually, was like, hey, Mr. Girl, can I have a picture with you? And I said, yeah. Or he was like, yeah. So that's how we got that one. And it's like
magic how it all goes.
It's one of my favorite memories to this day. Or actually, you took that one.
Magic. There you go.
That. You took that one.
I do get paid to take pictures for a living, kinda. So.
That is true. That is true.
So I can usually do an okay job.
Oh no. Be thankful you're not a Jets or Giants.
Oh, trust me. I know it, brother. I know it. Those teams are in shambles. Daniel Jones was playing scout team safety today.
I was going to say then he got released today.
Yeah, and honestly, that's probably the best case scenario for both of those teams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why Tommy is starting. I know him personally. We went to high school together.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then we went to college together. He went to high school with me in New Jersey, and then we both went to Syracuse at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
He ended up transferring to Illinois after he kind of lost the starting job or lost the battle or whatever was going on and left and had a good year. But I don't understand how Drew Lock's not the guy personally, but I think they're looking for something a little uppity, the little, right?
Wait. Oh, I guess the uniform designs that you stole from Notre Dame. He is also a Notre Dame fan.
Oh, well, how's NIU doing? That's all I got to say about that. Also, they didn't accept me when I was in college or high school looking to go, so I'm not a fan of that.
Oh.
I guess I wasn't smart enough.
Mr. Girl is back with. It's always fun at the Packer games. It is really fun.
Well, I wouldn't say it's always fun. There's been 3 weeks where it wasn't fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the 3 losses.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad I wasn't there for those.
I have a couple of buddies that are big Lions fans too, so that's never fun.
Right, because isn't one of them?
Yeah, one of my buddies, his whole family's from Michigan, so got to deal with that, unfortunately.
Oh.
So they not only got the national championship to rub in your face, but now they're giving it both ways, and it's not fun.
And he's not sad. It took a call by the officials for you to beat us again. I'm used to that by now. And in terms
so I got half of it right. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean that's how life goes, right? I always think that the official stuff is I never like to get into it because I'm not there. I'm not making the calls. Yeah. So there's going to be bad calls where you lose a game and there's going to be bad calls where you win a game. I can't yell because there's nothing you can do about that. I think the Bills just showed a great way of doing it is make it too big to rig, right? Win by enough where it doesn't matter. Like the Chiefs, for example, right? Like they haven't been able to do that. I've just never gotten into the ref stuff because I don't think that it's my place, nor do I have enough knowledge to say X, Y, or Z is right.
Right. Yeah.
There's a lot of things where I'm learning new things about football, and I've been watching since I was a little kid.
Oh no. Wait.
Yeah, that would also be a win.
This is Peter. He has a lot of friends.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was a tough one. I don't know anybody that went to NIU, but I'm sure that was the happiest day of their lives. That's also true.
Oh, yeah, the Bears should have run it a little bit.
I did hear a couple of people on the special teams that had came out and said after the game they were surprised they didn't run another play.
Mm-hmm.
But, there's a reason why I think Eberflus is what, like 5-17 in one-score games or something like that.
It's bad.
That's I will guarantee you that on the last day of the year, he's gone. And at least the Bears fans that I'm friends with are already they've been wishing he was gone since that Commanders game.
Really? Yeah. Interesting.
Hard Knocks does a really good job of making these coaches look cool. They're not always cool.
One of my friends was just asking where they can watch. So you might have another one of my friends.
All right. Well, there you go.
Just what you want, friend. Just what you want. How did I lose the script again? Oh! How did you become a Packers fan? I know you told me the story a little bit.
I have a bunch. So the real reason isn't even family. So we have some family that grew up all the way out there. It's very extended. It's not folks that I even would be able to contact anymore. The real one came down to simply, I got a jersey when I was really little, maybe 3 or 4. And it was one of those, custom ones where you can have your own name on it. And I just fell in love with the colors. And my parents told me that I took about a week and a half before they would even be able to wash it because I wouldn't take it off. So ever since then, it was just always there, and it always stayed. There's never been a time in my life where I rooted for another team. And I will say, I lived in Buffalo for 2 years. I will root for the Bills. I have no problem with them. We don't play them. It doesn't matter. Right. If I have to play a team in the Super Bowl, I would always choose the Bills because I love Josh Allen.
Oh, stop going ahead of my questions. Stop.
Oh, okay. My bad. I will say, though, I think that Buffalo and Green Bay are very similar in terms of the small town fan base, the blue collar area, the stadium in the city. It's in my way there's a lot of correlations there, and I could see why one team would be a lot similar, if you will.
Mm-hmm. No, it's actually funny to that question. Okay, fine. You just said that. So
I beat you to something?
Yes.
Which is what? Oh, okay. Fair enough. All right.
Okay. So this is one that I told you about. Or actually, no, I ended this one.
No, I didn't read them.
Oh, okay.
I told you I didn't want to read them. I wanted to be shocked.
You did not tell me that.
I did tell you that I didn't need them, though.
Oh. Yeah, but we usually send them just in case people want.
Yeah, no. I just spin it.
So this is one that came up during the Tom Grassi episode, which we did interview Tom Grassi on this channel. So you have to fill in kind of big shoes. Not really.
They're not going to be filled, but I'll do what I can.
Okay, fine. If the Packers are in the Super Bowl, who would you want it to be? You said the Bills.
Who would I choose the team to be? Yeah, I think the Bills. I mean, I don't want to play the Bills because I think the Bills would kick the crap out of them.
Yeah.
But if I had to root for a team in the AFC to be there, yeah, I mean, I enjoy the Bills. I like them. I like Josh Allen. If I had to pick a team that I would want the Packers to play in terms of us winning, I would probably choose Pittsburgh because I think they are the biggest fraud when it comes to record. And they don't scare me as much as a lot of these other teams do. I would not want to play the Chiefs or the Bills or the Ravens. I think I'd be a lot more comfortable playing a Russell Wilson-led team than some of these other teams. But if I'm rooting it for fun, yeah, go Bills. I'm fine with that.
Hey, Ryan. One of my friends wants to say hi to you, but they're not in chat right now. Can you say hi to them, please?
Hi, friend.
Oh, you're so nice. Yeah, I'll tell you why they're not commenting for a reason.
Hi, friend.
You are so nice. I love it. Okay. In your honest opinion, do you think we are Super Bowl contenders?
Not right now. I don't think that contender means they have a shot, right? And in terms of they have a shot, yeah, I think they're one of the, say, 8-10 teams in the NFC that have a shot. But do I think right now where they stand, they will? No. I think you need to be doing better than beating the Bears by, to a point, I think, luck. You know, I think that in that game, you need to be coming out and beating them by 2 touchdowns for me to say, hey, yeah, they're ready for that. But we're right at the time where they started to heat up. And I think that a win over the 49ers at home that could potentially send that team home for the year could certainly pump that up a little bit. I think I need to see a little bit more offensive output on my end before I will believe that they can go and beat some of these teams like the Eagles, like the Lions that have strong defenses and are going to put 30 on you.
You could argue with that with the Bills or with the Bucks too, Buccaneers.
Yeah, the Buccaneers are a good team, but they find ways to lose a lot of games.
True.
And a lot of that is Godwin and Mike Evans being hurt, right? But they don't scare me. But I think though that's one of those teams that could swing in the last seed in the playoffs and make some noise.
You could argue with the Broncos. Broncos have a strong defense with
Yeah, but Bo Nix doesn't scare me.
Oh, okay.
Not yet. And that doesn't mean he might not at one point, but he definitely doesn't scare me now.
Okay.
I would be more fearful of Baker than I would be of Bo Nix in that situation because I think he's proved a little more to me.
Okay. So I didn't put this on the questions, but Jair Alexander.
Yeah, it sucks. I think they should have gotten rid of him already, though.
Oh, okay.
I love Jair. I think he's phenomenal. But I don't think you can pay that amount of money to a guy that plays 3 games and then sits 2 and then plays 3 and then sits 2 and then plays 3 and then sits 2. I also think that it's a problem when you see the Q next to Jair Alexander's name and you know he's not playing.
Right.
I think it's very similar to the Bakhtiari situation where he's a phenomenal player and a core member of the team, but it gets to a point where if you're not on the field, you can't validate the money. I think that they need to go get someone, though. I don't think that that's a draftable replacement. I think that they need to go out and get a Minka Fitzpatrick, somebody that is of that caliber and use that money there.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I mean, they do. They've lost, a many in a row, actually. And if you go up to Buffalo, that'll be the first thing anybody tells you. Yeah, I mean, I love him to death as a player, and I think he's phenomenal. But when you can't be on the field, you can't be on the team, in my opinion. And it's not like it's been one time.
Yeah. You could argue the same with Devondre Campbell.
Yeah, exactly. And, I did not want them to pay him all that money after one good year because I'm not a fan of one good year means you get $100 million.
Right.
You need to show me a little bit more, especially when so many teams have told him before, you're not good enough. And he wasn't a starter before they picked him up.
True.
And I think they get stuck sometimes trying to make the splash that the fans want, but sometimes the money doesn't go in the right place. And we have a young team that doesn't make a lot of money. He's a big part of that. I think Jair's like 10% of the cap.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And then you see a guy like McKinney that's making the same amount of money that has an impact every single week.
I mean,
so
mostly
I would imagine, as a corner, you're not getting hit a lot. You're not making a ton of tackles.
Right.
These injuries are non-contact, and that's what scares me.
Yeah, and he just got another one during.
Well, it seems like it was the same one. I think,
he
re-aggravated, right? But I mean, I think that they ride it out. But if he comes back and then is injured again, I wouldn't be surprised if they look elsewhere.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know that answer. I'm not in there, obviously, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, no.
The Packers usually do their best to cut a year before they should.
Oh, true. Yeah, you could. Yeah, I guess.
Where they usually cut a year before they should, where they still look like they have some in the tank, and then they go elsewhere for 3-4 years on another deal. And usually they have a good first year. Think about Micah Hyde's a great example of that.
Right.
Had a phenomenal first year in Buffalo. And then what's Micah Hyde up to these days, right?
He's actually a free agent.
Exactly. Right. That's that's kind of what I'm going at is they usually seem to do a good job of that. And I think Jair might be the next guy to be cut a year early.
Okay. So there's some questions about contracts because you mentioned it already. So with that said about guys getting a huge contract for 1 year, what are your thoughts about Jordan Love's contract?
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, Jordan Love really didn't have a year. It was really even less than that. I mean, we had a good, 8, 9 games before they made that decision. Week 6, week 7, there was talk about he's not the guy. We got to move on. We got to find somebody else.
Yeah.
I didn't love it. I mean, I know you quarterbacks are premium, and if you have a guy that you think is above average, you got to keep him because if you don't have a quarterback in the NFL, you don't compete. There's not a team in the NFL right now that doesn't have a quarterback that is what I would consider a contender, right?
Correct.
That's why I'm not afraid of the Steelers is a great example of it. I think that they should have given him something, but I think that was a little overborne. But I would imagine also that somebody else would have if they didn't. And that's part of it too, is say you're not going to give them the money and then X, Y, and Z team comes calling. So their back was probably against the wall a little bit. I don't think their back's against the wall in terms of Jair. I think the quarterbacks are a little bit harder to replace. Yeah. There's a lot of good corners on a lot of good teams. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that are better than Jordan Love right now.
So I mentioned this because we were live when Jordan Love was extended. That was on a live stream.
Oh, breaking news. All right.
It was breaking news when he was extended. What do you think if the Dolphins traded for Jordan Love? Because we knew apparently the Dolphins wanted Jordan Love.
Yeah, and that's part of it, right? Is you're paying that money not only to get your guy, but also to prevent somebody else from taking your guy.
Right.
And, who's to say that he wouldn't have gone to that Dolphins team with Tyreek Hill and Jaden Waddle and all these guys and been just as good, if not better. I think that offense at the time probably was better. I don't know if it is now, but I think at the time on paper it certainly was. And, I think it's half and half. Versus Jair, I think, is a little different because I don't know if teams are looking at him thinking, I'm going to pay this guy $100 million.
That's a good question. If we traded Jordan Love to the Dolphins, who would we have gotten back? Well,
I don't think they would have gone quarterback. I don't think that's what they would have looked for there. I think they would have gone the pick route / maybe somebody like I'm just trying to think of the young guys on that team because, they were trying to get young. It probably would have been a guy like a Jalen Phillips or like a Jalen Waddle maybe and a pick. I don't see that. I don't think they were looking for Tua.
Okay.
I personally wouldn't want Tua. I think Tua's in the Jair category of not being able to stay on the field.
You could agree with that, yeah.
And I mean, I don't know, but I don't think you trade your guy for a guy that wasn't yours.
Right, because that was the Packers or Dolphins wanted Jordan during draft time in 2020.
Yeah, I probably would have imagined, and at that point too, he didn't prove anything yet. So the value wasn't there.
Right.
Had they traded him at the end of, say, last season, value's there, right? But I don't think that the price tag would have been as high. Definitely would have been more of the price tag along. You probably would have got a 3rd-round pick out of it, and that probably would have been it. What did Trey Lance just go for, right? Like a 4th or a 5th, right? He did about the same amount of things before he got to play. So
Malik Willis.
He was great. I mean, it's one of those situations where it doesn't look great on paper until it works.
Right.
But it worked. And they found a guy that could execute a game plan the way they needed to. And I think that's all it came down to was they needed a guy to be the Brock Purdy of the situation, to listen and do what he was supposed to do. And they found a guy that they felt capable of that. And it worked out. Is he a guy that I think is going to go play a team like Detroit and win? No. Is he a guy that can go play a crappy team or a below 500 team and get the job done with good guys around him? Yeah. And there's also the portion of game script there where you don't know what you're going to get.
Right. I mean, we saw Malik during the Colts game in the second. And Jaguars for a little bit.
Yeah, Jags, Colts, and Titans, right? Teams that nobody's really worried about, but wins you still got to get. Wins are not easy in the National Football League, and I think anytime you get a win, you should be happy.
Okay.
But yeah, all thumbs up on Malik Willis there.
Okay.
And if you saw Michael Pratt play, you should be very happy that we got Malik Willis.
Okay.
I had a good buddy of mine that went to Tulane, and we saw Michael Pratt play in person a few times. He was a manager on the football team down there, and he was great at Tulane. They were great. They were ranked both years that he was a starter. But then I watched him play,
Oh.
and I watched Sean Clifford play, and I said, if either one of those guys go in there against Will Levis is going to look like Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, so they were that bad.
I think they were scared to play either one of them, and that's why they felt like they had to do something. Also, I think that the legs is a huge part of that, and neither one of those guys could have operated in that system because they're not as mobile as someone like Malik Willis is.
Huh.
They wanted that game to be a running game, and Michael Pratt is not a running guy.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
That's my guess anyway. But
yeah, I liked Michael Pratt.
Also, take a look at, where is Michael Pratt and Sean Clifford now, right? They're not the backup quarterback on a team. That's a premium position. Right. And I always like to think like, well, where's the league at with these guys after we let them go?
Yeah.
Usually it's a mistake if somebody immediately grabs them.
Right.
I don't think either one of them, I think they both passed through waivers without a problem.
They did.
Yeah. So, I always think if somebody snatches them up real fast, there's a reason why. And if they don't, there's also a reason why.
I didn't think about it like that, I guess. Because I liked Michael Pratt. Ouch.
But see, like, I did too as a person, but the other 31 teams didn't.
Right. There's a reason why you picked him up in this.
There's a reason why nobody touched it, right? And he's probably on a practice squad somewhere. I'm not familiar. I don't know.
He is in the Bucs. Yep.
Yeah, see, there you go, right? But the backup quarterback position is important, as we've seen a number. I always think about the Eagles here with Nick Foles is a great example of that, right? If you have a guy that can get you in there to win a couple of games, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, it falls. Yeah, no, I don't buy that one. But
you don't?
No, I don't buy that one. I don't think it would have been any worse, but I don't think it would have been any better.
Okay.
That's what I'd say. I don't think the score would have changed, which is unfortunate for Jordan Love, I think. Okay. But
do you think the Jaguars game or the Bears game was more stressful to watch? I purposely chose those two games because those are the ones I would watch.
I would say that the Jags game was more stressful, but only because Love got hurt.
Right.
Because when your quarterback goes down, you're always scared, right? But you're not scared about that game. And when watching that game, I was much more concerned is he okay than are they going to get out of this game with a win?
Right.
The Bears game was stressful, but regardless, win or loss, we're going to come back whole next week. And anytime there's like the Eagles game, the same way, right?
Yeah.
Where you're much more scared for the next one than you are the game that it is.
Right. Makes sense, actually. And I think, personally, I don't know if you agree with this. I don't think we should have started Jordan Love for the Lions.
I don't like to say I should have or shouldn't have because the Packers have one of the best medical staffs in the country. And if they say he's good to go, I believe that they're right. And they haven't told me that – they haven't given me a reason that they're not. We're not seeing kids out there with concussions still going out to practice, right? So I give them the I trust you until you prove me wrong kind of mentality there. And I don't think that Jordan would have played if he didn't feel like he could have. What was the quote was always, as long as I can protect myself. AKA, I can avoid a sack. I can get out of bounds. I can not get hit. I don't think he would have put himself out there if he didn't feel like he could play. But it definitely looked like he was rusty when he was out there.
Someone has to go, so I'm going to pull up their comment really quick. Regarding the Steelers, though, there's one thought that I would do have.
That's true. No, that's 100% true. And the defense is really good, and we'll see. I can't answer that question. We haven't seen it in a long time. Since what? Seahawks years and years ago. I mean, he was with the Broncos for 2 years, so probably would have been like 21. Might have been the last time they were in there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because that would have been – no, it was 2019. I'm thinking
of the crazy how time flies, right? And, that matters to me is that it's been 5 years. But prove me right or prove me wrong is what I would say to Russell Wilson on that one. If they go in and they're a division winner and they play somebody at home and they kick the crap out of them, I will say, Russell Wilson, I'm sorry, you were correct, and shake his hand, and that's the end of it. But I think I need to see a game where they go in and they dominate someone before I'm like, I'm worried about that team.
That's a great point. Okay. What do you think about Tom Clements? I just saw his name, but your friend pop up.
I mean, that's one of those things where you have this sort of, I don't even want to say veteran voice because it's even beyond veteran, right? That he's in Packers lore at this point, I think. And when you have someone like that in the building, it just makes everybody's lives easier, I'd imagine.
Right.
Because you can ask the questions that nobody else is going to be able to answer for you.
Right.
Hey, how did Aaron deal with this situation?
Right.
Hey, how did X, Y, and Z person deal with this situation when they were having trouble? Or, hey, what can I do better? Or what am I doing that, is too much? I would imagine that relationship's got to be massive for that team. And whenever he decides that he's going to throw in the towel and, it's all over, it'll be a loss for all of them. And I hope there's somebody under him that's sucking up all that knowledge.
So there is one right now. It's the Vikings' former quarterback, actually, Sean Mannion.
Oh, he's the guy? Oh, my God. He was terrible.
But he's learning under Tom Clements.
Hopefully Sean Mannion isn't teaching them anything that he did in the NFL.
Right. Because I was actually had a Vikings fan on, and we discussed that question.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, hopefully he is sucking up all of that knowledge and will be able to use those words when that guy is gone. But, it's invaluable. Yeah, anybody like that, any veteran, whether it's a QB coach or it's any sort of coach, I think, is essential to have in there. And you see some of these teams that have a revolving door of all of their personnel, and there's never player development. The Packers players get better every year, except for Wicks.
Okay.
But, you see the strides that are made, right? Look at Watson last game, right? These players get better, and there's a reason for that. And then you watch some of these games. I always think back to the Anthony Richardson one is a great one. He's not getting better.
No.
Will Levis is not getting better.
No.
And there's a reason why they're not getting better, and it's because there's nobody in the building that is helping them get better.
True. I mean, we do have Tom Clements, which helps dramatically.
Yeah, and it's not just him. It's the fact that we have stability. So LaFleur stays, and that's important.
Okay.
There's a culture there. There's a lot of different things like that. I wasn't a fan of Hackett leaving, even though I think he's a joke now, because it worked.
Right.
And he had connections with these players. They're getting better. Now I can't say that it would have worked out, but it was working out. Maybe that was Aaron Rodgers. Maybe it was Hackett. Maybe it was a combination of both. We're never going to know that answer.
Right.
I don't think that either one of those situations on the Jets is the reason why they suck.
Okay. Kicker. The only position we really failed to address in draft was kicker. I think
yes, that's true. Absolutely. And I wanted them to grab Richard, and they did not, which was very unfortunate.
Okay.
Because, we kind of went – the Packers have a theme of drafting the wrong brother. I don't know if you've seen this before or not.
Don't even –
but,
no, you just Peter.
They have a really good way of picking the wrong brother to join the team.
I'm aware.
And I think we got to just stay away from brothers in general.
Agreed. Oh, no.
I even think Bo Melton's the wrong brother.
No, you just did something. You just
right?
So I know.
We've just seen time and time again them get the wrong brother. And I think if they have a brother that also plays in the NFL or plays in college, let's just stay away from that, okay?
You just brought up something.
Heads up, Goody. If you heard that, stay away from the brothers.
You just brought up something. Peter knows I loved Max Mountain in the draft.
Yeah.
And I wanted him so bad.
But you knew they weren't going to get him because we already had the worst one.
I know. And I also wanted Elijah Jones from the Eagles, the Boston College Eagles. Okay. You brought up one name, Matt LaFleur. Did we keep him, fire him? What?
He has never given me a reason since the day he started coaching for us to fire him.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay.
I think that very few people in the NFL can deal with Aaron Rodgers. I am not an Aaron Rodgers fan, by the way. I don't think it's an easy job. And we've seen what happens when people cannot deal with him. I think he navigated that as well as anyone could have. And would like to argue that it was more on Aaron Rodgers. They lost those 2 playoff games than it was Matt LaFleur.
Oh, okay.
Now, I know you can say in the Buccaneers game they shouldn't have kicked the ball. Completely agree with that at the end of the game. I also think Aaron Rodgers should have ran for the touchdown on 3rd down.
Agree.
So, I that's a tough one. And I don't think they've ever given me a reason to make me believe that he should go. And I also think, too, remember we were talking about the trades and things like that.
Yeah.
If Matt LaFleur was fired tomorrow, would he be hired before the next season starts?
Probably not.
In my opinion, not a question.
Yeah, I know.
There's
Really?
not a question in my mind that he would be the coach of another NFL team at the beginning of the year. Yeah. So if somebody else is willing to grab him immediately, you're making a mistake.
Right.
I've always thought that way. If somebody else wants him right now, that means he should not be walking out the door.
Yeah. Jeff Hapley, another name.
Yeah, same thing. Okay. Same thing.
Interesting.
I have a good buddy of mine. He went to BC, season tickets, loved the guy.
Okay.
It's tough to make that transition from the NFL or from college to the NFL. And I saw him talk about it a little bit. They asked him, and it was all NIL. That's what it came down to, was he didn't want to be a recruiter, a coach, and a pimp, essentially. And I think that's why he got out of it. That's why Saban got out of it and all these guys left, I think, is it changed the game so much that a lot of these older heads didn't want to focus on the money. And especially a place like BC, they can't afford players to compete.
Right.
You know, I'm confident a team like BC's probably not going to win the ACC championship anytime soon because they can't afford it. And that's unfortunate. But he's doing a great job. I mean, yeah, they've had some rough spells and they've been things that have been crappy, but I would say that it's the best defense I've seen in a long time, and certainly one I have a lot more confidence in than I have in previous years. Previous years, I'm sweating when we don't have the ball. Right. I'm not really sweating when we don't have the ball here.
Gorilla's back in comments. Rodgers is old and trying to be like Favre. He needs to be done.
Oh, Jordan Love's young and he's trying to be like Favre, so, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true.
So, you know. But yes, that is correct.
Peter disagrees with the Jets issue not being all on.
Oh, I don't think it's 100% on him.
Me neither.
I don't think there's 100% to blame anywhere. I'm sure you guys saw that Woody Johnson athletic report about all of the different things that were being required of the Jets to get the job done. I think it's a combination of Rodgers, Woody Johnson, and the losing culture.
Yeah.
And the media. I think all of those things combined contributed to the fallout. And I think if you watch the Jets play, it doesn't look like Aaron Rodgers wants to be there.
Right. Okay. You mentioned media. Do you want to talk about your connection with the Packers a little bit?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, you'd be surprised. So we have a very big journalism school in Syracuse, and it's very hard to be anywhere where you don't see an orange. So like, like Matt Steineman over the Athletic is a guy that worked at our local newspaper back in college. I wasn't friends with him personally, but I can tell you, I read every sports column, you know, and they really get you there, and you'd be surprised. Yeah, it's funny to see how all of the oranges, if you will, are all over the place.
Right, yeah.
And he does a phenomenal job, as I think a lot of them do. From what I've been told, it's, you know, it's a small town. It's not a big market, and it's easier, I think, to get access to certain things. And I felt that when I was up in Buffalo with the Bills as well, is there's definitely a little bit more of a personal human connection that goes on there. It's less player camera and much more player person, which I think is good. And you get better stories that way.
Yeah. Gorilla, do we forget that Rodgers got hurt first place into fourth place last year? Give that guy some slack. I truly believe that the Jets would have been in the Super Bowl if he had it.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that. I think they would have been okay.
I agree.
I don't think that they would. I mean, I think the question now is, do you think that the Jets roster last year or this year is better on paper? I'd like to argue this year's better because you now have Hassan Reddick. You now have Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Plus, you have all of those draft picks that they got this year, which, you know, Braylon Allen's a huge example of that.
Right.
And they're horrendously bad. They're non-competitive in games. Right. I mean, we'll never know that answer, right? We will never be able to say if they would have been good or not. I think they would have been fine. I think they would have competed, but I think they probably would have ended the year 7-9 and not made the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think if they ended 7-9 and didn't make the playoffs, this year would have been very different.
Right.
Because who says they get Devontae Adams? Who says Aaron Rodgers still wants to play? There's a lot of answers there that I couldn't tell you. But
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it, and yeah, that was an adventure of a game.
Oh, I'm lucky I didn't see it.
Oh, I watched that live, and it was I don't want to say entertaining. That's not the right way to put it.
Right. I get
But
what you mean.
it was entertaining. No, it was entertaining.
You don't want to call it entertaining.
I don't like to root for injuries for anyone
Right.
because I don't think that's the right way to go. But I'm not a fan of him, and I'm not a fan of the way he acted, and I'm not a fan of the way that he went about things.
Right.
So it didn't make me sad when I saw him make the wrong decision. Devontae Adams is the same way.
Yeah.
Where Devontae Adams left to go play with his college roommate.
Yes.
Because he wanted to go play with quote unquote 2 Hall of Famers. And it came out that he was unsure if Jordan Love was going to be good, and he didn't want to play in that limbo. And then after a year, it was a mix of Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew and whoever else. And all of a sudden, he was in the limbo he was afraid of. And then he went to the Jets, and same thing. And I think a guy that was a first ballot Hall of Famer, people look at now and say, well, I don't know.
Okay.
But I think if he would have stayed, that career would have been very different for him.
Yeah.
And the Packers team would be very different too. They probably would have never drafted Watson.
Oh, true. Anthony Richardson up with Rodgers. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, Anthony Richardson is horrible.
But he's injured right now. He's benched.
Anthony Richardson might be one of the worst football quarterbacks I've seen in the NFL in the last 10 years.
Wow.
He can't throw the ball.
True.
Yes, I completely agree with that part. He 100% did it himself, and I do not feel bad for Devontae Adams, who is frustrated as all hell right now. It actually makes me kind of happy when I see him slam his helmet on the sidelines.
Oh.
Because I'm you made the wrong choice.
Right. I mean, we got Watson based on the Devontae Adams pick.
And I don't think they would have drafted him if they kept him. They probably would have drafted Dobbs and Wicks and Jaden Reed and all those guys, but I don't think they would have gotten him because there was no need for him. Watson was there to fill that role.
Right. I was going to say, when I see Christian Watson, he reminds me of Adams a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think that, we'll see what the career looks like.
Right.
I hate that he's a 2 for 110 guy.
Right.
I think they drafted him to be a 16 for 192 guy, but that's turned into Dobbs instead. So, it all works out in the end. But, yeah, it definitely makes me feel happy when he's frustrated as all hell because, sometimes you make the wrong choice and you abandon the team that chose you. And here we are.
Brian Gutekunst.
Oh, I love Goody. I have no problem with Goody.
Okay. Josh Jacobs.
Well, we have a weird ownership structure, right? So Goody's sort of the de facto owner in a way.
Right.
Because we're not drafting the players, even though I think that'd be so much more fun.
Yeah.
I think they should just put a big board on the wall and every owner should be able to vote. That'd be a lot. Did you imagine that, right?
I'm not an owner, but yes.
Oh, I am an owner.
Look at you go. That'd be fun.
It was a present I got from my parents a while back. Last time they had the stock opening, I think it was maybe 21 or something like that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Best $300 for a piece of paper you'll ever spend. Right. And obviously, I don't live anywhere near Green Bay, so I've never been to an owner's meeting or ever gone to any of those stores. But apparently, they have them.
Right, they do.
I get the emails.
That's good. Oh, right, because you're an owner, technically.
But, yeah, no, Goody's, I think, what you want in the GM. I think that he is a good general manager. I think that he's proven that. I think that he makes good decisions. And, they do the Packers way. And the Packers way doesn't always make the fans happy, but the Packers way helps the win column.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, it was the right choice. I love Aaron Jones.
Okay.
I was also on team get rid of Aaron Jones.
Oh.
For the same reason of Jair Alexander.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's too good. He's phenomenal, but he's never on the field. And when you're going young, you want a guy that's going to be on the field. And I think that Josh Jacobs has done everything that has been asked of him. And if Aaron Jones had the same season with the same stats, you'd say, wow, he's having a really good year. So
Aaron Jones, he's also been injured, and Josh Jacobs barely had it.
Exactly. So, you took a gamble because obviously Jacobs had a down year the year before, but that whole Raiders team was horrendous as well.
Right.
And I think it's worked out. I think that Josh Jacobs has done enough already this year to stay next year because there's no guaranteed money after this year.
Okay.
They front-loaded the contract on purpose, so if it didn't work out, they could get rid of him.
Wait, You can answer this question. You might know this question. Because you just said that, does that mean how many years is this contract for?
It's a 3 for 40, but I think the guaranteed money is it's like 28 up front, and then like they could move on from him after this year if they chose to.
I don't see them doing that though.
But they did it, I think, because they didn't know what they were going to get. Were they going to get 2023 Josh Jacobs, or they're going to get 22 Josh Jacobs?
So far, it looks like we got 2022.
And they got that 2022 guy, and I think that's enough where they will keep him, and they should keep him.
Is that the same with Xavier McKinney's contract?
No, I think he's got more along the whole way. But he was also, I think, a bit of a safer signing.
Okay.
Because he's shown it over multiple years.
Were you surprised by Xavier McKinney coming to?
I knew they were going to go try and get someone.
Okay.
I was hoping they were going to go get him.
Okay. Or
at the bare minimum, get a guy that I want in the draft that they got anyway, which is Javon Bullard.
Oh, okay.
So, I wanted them to do one or the other, and they did both. And funny enough, out of all of it, Evan Williams is better than him, and I think that Evan Williams deserves to be on the field more right now.
Peter had to leave. He is the Bears fan. He has something else going on.
I'm just listening. I'm just chatting and, whatever.
We love this. We love you having on. We love you. And thank you so much for agreeing.
I got no plans.
Look at you. What?
I had no plans. It was all right. Yeah. I'll chop it up. Yeah.
We're not even done yet. I'm saying that.
Oh, okay. I'm going to crack this one then.
Do it. I have water right next to me because it's 7. I don't know why. I also didn't even have dinner yet. So.
Oh, neither have I.
Oh. Okay.
We don't really eat much on the job, typically. You're too much running around.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Okay. Favorite memory as a Packers fan besides meeting me this season?
Oh, you took the words right out of my mouth. This season, you said?
Nice try, yeah.
Ooh, this season. Okay. That's a tough one, actually. I got to think about that. There's some good ones in there, but I'm trying to find the best. There's the silly one. There's kind of two ways you go about that. There's the ones that are the most impactful.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the ones that are the ones that win you games and serve as sort of the morale booster for the team.
Mm-hmm.
The most impactful for the team, I think, is definitely that blocked field goal.
Oh, shoot.
Because that just pumps. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because that matters to the team more than I think it matters to the fans.
Right.
Because you walk out of there with a win and you come back home. And I think that serves as a little kick in the ass to say, hey, we're ready. As a fan, it might be when Josh Jacobs was telling that Bears corner to come hit him.
Yeah.
That I loved. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that. It also just might be the entirety of Malik Willis.
Right.
I think that's probably what I would say is my favorite, is just the entirety of Malik Willis.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it just, without him going in there and getting the job done, what are we? The same record as the Bears?
True.
Sitting at 4-6, 4-7, thinking about next year.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say for me, it's the Malik Willis experience would be my favorite memory. But the one that's the most impactful for the team is absolutely the blocked field goal.
Speaking of the blocked field goal, what was your reaction?
I mean, you were there.
I know, but yours.
It was rowdy.
Because I didn't see your reaction.
I'll send you the video. I'll send you the video. One of our friends took one.
You get it?
Yeah, we got it live. She knew that we were going to freak out. So we all had little arm in arm kind of rocking back and forth as it was going on. And I mean, it's just a mosh pit of crap, as you would know.
Now I want to see that video.
Think of the beat dropping at the concert when you're in the middle of the mosh pit. That's what I would say.
Okay. Because I will say it is rowdy.
Oh, it gets rowdy.
It was wild.
It's always rowdy. And I definitely don't hurt it being rowdy in there.
No.
I definitely help it being rowdy.
You and Gorilla. I don't know who gets more of the crowd wild.
We get them rowdy. I know.
You guys both do, yeah.
It's my one day a week where I kind of let loose a little bit,
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Gorilla's keeping.
But yeah, I mean,
It's not right now.
I don't know if I thought the Bears were going to win, but I thought there was certainly a chance they could. And yeah, I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Okay. I'm going to skip that question for later because I can. This is from Mr. Gurley himself. He texted me this question last night or a couple minutes ago.
Bring it on.
Who's from the Oasis, as you know, who's your favorite player of all time from the Packers?
Charles Woodson.
I meant offense and defense.
Defense, Charles Woodson.
Okay.
I've just never seen anyone. Obviously, I didn't grow up in the Reggie White days, right? Like, I wasn't around for that.
Right.
But I've never seen anyone put on a Packers jersey and be that much of a force on the defensive side of the ball. Close second is absolutely BJ Raji, though.
Yep.
Because, I mean, he's like 5 of me. Like, I just want to see if I can give him a hug and wrap my arms all the way around.
Right.
Offensively, that's tough too. There's a couple of guys that I really wanted to root for.
Okay.
And it either they failed me or they teased me. MVS is a great example of that, where I wanted them to draft him out of college because I saw how often do you see a guy that's 6'5" that runs a 4.3?
Right.
So that's one of those guys where I wanted them to get him, and they got him. And when your team drafts a guy you want, of course you're going to love it.
Right.
But
yeah.
he failed me. He never gave me any reason to believe that he was good. And after losing a bet, I had to burn that jersey. So I don't even have it anymore because it's in a pile of ashes in Syracuse, New York somewhere.
Okay.
Absolute favorite on the offense, though. Okay. I am probably going to go. This is like. Okay. You know, back in the day, I used to love, and I'll stand by, I always thought he was good. I don't know why they got rid of him. I was always a Jermichael Finley fan more than anyone else.
Okay.
Because we've never had a tight end that's good.
Right.
And now Tucker Kraft's doing his thing, and Musgrave's always hurt. So, you know, he's another one of those guys. We'll see how it happens there, right? But he's the only Packers tight end I've ever seen, besides maybe the last 6 or 8 games, that's done something week in, week out. And I've always thought that's a position that we've always failed to do, which doesn't make sense because you'd think Wisconsin, these corn-fed men that need to be able to play tight end, you'd figure it out. But it hasn't. And he's always been somebody that I've loved. I always used to love Eddie Lacy, too, until he got fat. And I'm sure you saw the interview that Matt did the other day about them tracking the minutes on his iPad and finding out that he wasn't doing anything.
I don't know. I will have to listen.
Yeah, go find that out. It was he does a podcast and a radio show with Kuhn out there.
I know what
and Eddie Lacy was on and got approval to tell the story where he was basically getting tracked on how many minutes he was watching film on his iPad, and I think it was like under like 10 minutes a day or something. That. It was a ridiculously low number. But yeah, I mean, until he got fat, he was a great. He was always somebody I loved as well.
I was gonna say my like this is recent because I don't care right now. Mine is Romeo Dobbs, a current.
Yeah, Dobbs is great. I love, except for when he was giving us a little bit of a problem.
Okay, now true.
But you know, we've also never heard anything after that came out.
Exactly.
And I would imagine that there certainly was something going on there because I remember that report coming out and seeing that I believe he was still leading the team in snaps.
I don't think that was the report.
Yeah, there had to be something else that was going on there.
I don't think it was that at all.
But I know when I looked it up, but I thought to myself, I'm like, what is he talking about? And then I saw he was like still leading the team in snaps. He was second in receptions. I think he was on par to have around the same stats he had last year. Yeah. I'm like, something is awry here. So I don't know what happened there.
I don't believe that at all. Plus, the team actually sent a wellness check out to Romeo.
Yeah, so if he had an issue, I think they wouldn't have done something like that. So there had to be something going on there. And obviously nothing's been said since. So clearly whatever it was.
Knew it! This is my friend Nick in chat. He writes a lot.
Oh, he did say that. Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, he said in a press conference with the players.
Well, if you're having issues already and then a report comes out like that, it's not going to help whatever you're dealing with. So,
really quick, Nick is the one that wrote an article. I can send it to you later. He wrote an article about Tom Grossi. He actually interviewed Tom before we did. So
cool.
Nick is in Wisconsin. Nick, are you still in Wisco? He's in Wisco, or he was in Wisco.
Cool. I've only been one time, so.
Okay. See, I'm from there, so I
both. Can't say I've only been to Wisconsin one time, and I've only been to Lambeau one time.
See, I haven't been to Lambeau.
Oh, well, yeah, see, I'm killing you there.
Yeah, he's in Milwaukee area.
It was my high school graduation present was to go.
There you go. Anyways, my favorite player is Sammy Watkins. I know. Say it. Say what you want. I don't care. I love.
Do you want me to say what I want?
No.
Okay, well then, all right, then we can move on. But like I consider players that play and impact the game.
No,
and
I know.
He has not played or impact the game.
I know. No, Sammy Watkins. I don't know if you knew this. Actually, he's actually from this area of Florida.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
And his cousin works at the local Toyota here.
Okay.
And his cousin sold me my car. So
honestly, you might as well put his cousin on the field.
Wow.
He's not been good since his college days at Clemson.
I know.
I was not a fan of that signing whatsoever. And he did exactly what I expected him to do after they signed him, which was about nothing.
Oh, okay. Because I actually knew, or I can say this now, I did know that he was playing against the Commanders that game the day before.
Oh, really?
And I couldn't tell anyone. His cousin told me.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those hopeful ones, sort of like the Jalen Smith signing we had a couple years ago from the Cowboys, right? Where like the skills were there. Was it going to work? I forget the guy's name that we just grabbed off of waivers. So I want to say it was the Commanders. It's the same kind of deal where the skills are there. The physicality can do it, but can they translate it to the field? Sometimes it works great. Sometimes it doesn't. Like, Watson's an example of that. Like, he didn't play a lot of football.
Right.
But they were hoping that what you saw was enough. Musgrave, too. He played like 15 games in college because of the COVID stuff.
You made me make a typo just now.
All right.
No, because I was like telling Gorilla to say hi to people. That's what I usually do. That's how I boss him around.
Thanks, Nate.
Right now. And I put Smith instead of Nick. So thank you for that.
That's fine.
Okay. What was it like to meet me for the first time? I'm curious.
I mean, not negative, if that's where you're going with that.
No.
I will say I talk to everybody. It's part of my job too, is if you cannot talk to random people on the street, TV's probably not for you.
Right.
Because we're with people sometimes at their lowest and sometimes at their highest. So I'm used to chatting everybody up. So it's no big deal when I meet somebody new. And as long as they're sweet to me, like you were, that's all it comes down to for me is be nice to me. I'll be nice to you. Right. Don't be nice to me. And it's not going to be fun.
Right.
No,
yeah.
And that's anybody, like Bears fan having a conversation. Totally cool. Start to be mean, then it might not go well. But as long as everybody's respectful and nice and sweet, yeah, I mean, I'll talk to anybody. That's kind of my MO.
And I love how when I like went to the Bears game, I literally texted you like I was here, like, and then you came around to everyone, which was amazing.
Oh yeah, and that's part of it too. Is that's just it's me. I've always been that way. So the career worked because it worked for me.
See what you did?
Yeah. Right.
Oh, look at this.
Oh my God.
Sorry, Nick. I didn't mean to.
That's not even close, too.
You said Jalen Smith. That's true.
Oh, that's a good question. Probably Gronk last week.
Wait, what?
Probably Gronk last week is what I'd say. He was funny. I really enjoyed him.
Is he back in the Florida area?
His family lives down in Fort Myers.
Yeah, I knew that.
And he lives up in Tampa still. And comes to visit, obviously, all the time. We were over at the water park that just opened up down in Naples, the Great Wolf Lodge. Mm-hmm. And he did a huge fundraiser for Make-A-Wish where he rode a bunch of the rides with some of the kids that have cancer and some debilitating conditions and things like that. And, you see these people on TV a lot and you wonder how they are in person. Sometimes I've learned they're very different and it's very calculated, and other times they're not and it's very genuine. He is exactly what you'd expect him to be like in person. A big kid.
That's amazing.
That was probably one of the more fun ones. Obviously, we've done some serious things. I don't do a ton of sports. I will if we need to, and obviously, there's not a lot of sports down here to do anyway.
Yeah.
But I have in the past, and we've interviewed some really cool people, and there's some really nice people out there. I interviewed the Bills left tackle, Deion Dawkins, while I was up in Buffalo once.
Oh, cool.
And he's about 3 of me.
Oh, wow.
It's one of those where you shake their hand and you don't see yours anymore.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, and just like him, he's also a silly guy and is very similar on and off the field, like you'd see at media availability or in person, just talking to you and there's no cameras on, which I enjoy.
Lots of content creators aren't what you want them to be in the Packers universe, that's for sure.
What I want them to be. I mean, a lot of it is shit stirring, right? There's the silliness and then there's the news. And I think that's where sometimes people get stuck in between is you don't really know. Like my biggest enemy of all time is probably that guy Dov on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Because that's not news. That's just clicks. Right? I hate it when I go on my phone and my heart drops for a second because I see something that's not true.
Right.
Because somebody's just trying to make money off you. So, yeah, I mean, it just depends. As long as you're putting out content that's either clearly opinion or clearly not, I don't care. But when people try and pretend like they know something they don't, that's when I get into the weeds of it all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm never going to pretend I know something I don't. Yeah, I'm either going to tell you I know it or I don't know it, But I think, yeah, the clickbaiting and that sort of stuff, which is definitely, I'd say, newer over the last couple of years. You know how many times I've clicked on a tweet and it's like Jordan Love tore his ACL or like Josh Jacobs broke his leg, ridiculous things that no, but it's just, it's anything. It's, McKinney just fell down in non-contact injury, whatever it is. Oh my God. Just to give you a little bit of a second. Yeah. That's what grinds my gears,
I think Dov got me with the McKinney. Because he was the one that said, like, McKinney.
Yeah, so things like that I'm not a fan of. But as long as you're either saying, hey, this is actual news or this is not news and we're just chatting and hanging out, then yeah.
Oh, no. Girls at it again.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. Oh, I mean, Christmas is just around the corner.
Yes. Like meeting a lot of content creators.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say who Nick interviewed, but he interviewed some amazing people.
No, but it's definitely true, and seeing, especially people you don't necessarily always see in front of the camera, you never know what you're going to get. Right. I'm always in front of the camera. That's just the way we do things. But a lot of people are not, it's social media, it's tweets, it's Instagram, it's whatever it is. And you can kind of hide behind that. Like, I don't think any of us actually know who that guy is, Dov. Is that his real name? I don't know. No.
Yeah.
Does anybody know, right?
Right. You could kind of say the same thing about Tom Grossi. Like, we know who he is.
He's very forward facing, right? Like, I'm a big Locked On Packers fan. I listen to Peter all the time. Okay. He's there. You're looking right at him, right? You know it's him. There's nothing to hide behind. So if he says something you don't like, I'm sure he's dealt with it before. People come after you.
Right.
And in the news realm, obviously, we have things like that. A lot of times it's much more impactful in terms of people's lives. So you definitely hear things. But yeah, I mean, you just be the person that you are. And I don't like the hiding. There's a couple of accounts like that too. I don't want to put all the blame on him. There's a couple of different ones that are also horrendous. I couldn't think of them off the top of my head, but
no, I know what you mean by Dov. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the aggregation, basically.
Girl, stop. Girls putting girls in chats now. I told you this would happen.
Hey,
that just became like our staple, kind of, because of
staple.
Tom was for sure one of the most genuine I've met. Just a great regular dude. Yeah.
I think you can tell that based on watching too. You can usually understand and watch and say, hey, this is who they are. That's what I try to do as well, is to be as genuine as I can. I do talk slower though.
Yes, you did. So you told me you watched Tom. What was your opinion of him winning Fan of the Year and stuff?
Outside of I want to take this away from the Packer side of it because I think that makes it a little biased. But when you do anything that's that impactful for that many people, you deserve to be recognized for it in some capacity. Whether it's Fan of the Year or it's something else, a lot of these social media people do things for themselves. And it was very clear watching that whole process that he was not doing it for himself. There are celebrities, I don't have any off the top of my head, but that do things for the views or do them for the personal satisfaction of it. You could very clearly see that he was doing this for the kids. And when you do something like that, you should be recognized, whether it's Fan of the Year or something else. To be honest, it's never really been a thing that I'm in tune with, the Fan of the Year stuff. I'm not an NFL awards guy. Like that stuff to me doesn't matter. How many MVPs do we watch and we still lose in the playoffs? You know what I mean? Right. So, but things like that matter, and it gives him the platform to continue to do good work. So every game that we watch at Oasis, we have him on,
Wait, who?
Grossi.
Wait, what?
Like we put it on every time we're at the bar.
I didn't know
You will
that.
see a phone sitting at the table with him on every single time.
That's hilarious.
So we can look at the TV and then look down and say, what does it look like? Is he falling out of his chair yet?
You guys should have told me. I had a free membership that I could have given.
Oh yeah, we're good. We just throw the live stream in.
I know, but next time, because I had a free membership, which is like a super chat to Tom.
Oh, okay. Well, you can join us if you'd like. Yeah.
It's too late, but
it's always on in the background. We're not chatting, but we just look up and we see something happen, and then I like to look down and see if he's rolling.
Now I just have to find you for that. Got it.
It's like not a very big bar.
I had a free super chat for him.
It's like not a very big bar. Like it's not gonna be hard to find me.
Okay, true. But still, I had a free super chat that we could have gave to him. That says
there's like 15 tables.
Yes,
You'll
I
find
know.
us. And I'm usually the loudest, so.
I don't know. That's up for debate versus you and Grill, though.
I try.
Grill was jumping up and down, too.
I certainly try, anyway.
Grill, call me out, Ryan.
Hey, if you can get them, let me know where to find them, because I don't know where to find them.
Girl, don't say anything. I may or may not have some at my house right now.
Oh, like you can't buy them here.
I know.
So,
like
I don't.
Said,
if I knew there was a place to get them, I would get them.
There's not.
Yeah, I assume that. There's a lot of great beers that I love. Buffalo's the same way, where it's a ton of breweries and things like that. And there's some great places I'd love to get things from that you just can't,
Hold on. Edger and Cooper felt.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts.
Practice. Wait, Nick, why is it sad panda? What?
Yeah, I don't really understand the last part there, but yes, it is sad. It's not great.
Wait, Nick, we're gorillas, not pandas.
Well, good thing we're not playing, the 49ers and Christian McCaffrey and all those different things.
Yeah, but it's Bosa. Bosa's questionable now.
And Trent Williams as well.
Ooh.
They're both going to be game time decisions. And I believe there was someone else, but I don't
George Kittle is going to be playing, I saw today.
I'm not scared of George Kittle.
Really?
No, I would have been scared of George Kittle 3 years ago.
Sure.
But I mean, he's fine. He's an impact guy, sure. But am I scared of him? No.
Nick said it's a South Park reference for Sad Panda.
I was a Family Guy always.
Yeah, I can see that from you.
Yeah.
You scream that vibes for me.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but.
Stop. How many times have you and I talked? A lot. But Grill and I have talked more. I don't know if that means anything.
It doesn't, not to me, but maybe to you guys.
Okay, whatever. As a young reporter getting ready to interview a well-known individual and not saying who, do you have any advice about how not to be nervous or intimidated? Ooh.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I've learned is just preparation. Go in there with more knowledge than they have.
Right, but if it's a phone call, because I know who he's referring to.
Knowledge. Doesn't matter if you're on the phone, you're on Zoom, you're looking right at them. Okay. There's a lot of times where I interview people and it's very simple. Hey, there's a fire on your street. Mm-hmm. What did you see? What happened? How do you feel? Are you guys okay? Things like that. But when you have somebody like we're doing a story tomorrow that's very scientific, and I got a C in high school chemistry. So you have to do the research and have a plan. Hey, I want to ask him X, Y, and Z things, and I want to try and get a question in there that he's never been asked before. Okay. That's always my goal. Is that I'll give you a great example. We just went to go talk to Gronk right on Thursday.
Right.
Everybody's out there. Hey, why are you here? Are you having a good time? Yada yada. Right. Mm-hmm. I noticed that he had been inducted into the Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame the night before because that's where they're from. That's cool. He did an interview with my old station, actually. That's how I caught it.
Oh, that's cool.
My first question was, how was the trip down from Buffalo? It's not a question you would think to ask, and I'm sure he didn't know I would know that, right? But it's putting the work in ahead of time so that they think that they're not wasting their time.
Right.
That's the big one, is make sure that you feel like at the end of the day, these people don't feel like their time is being wasted.
Yeah, I agree 100% about that, what you guys are both saying. Because Nick said if Quay is out, they're wearing the mic.
Oh, yeah. If Quay's out there, I'm scared of everybody.
And prep and get them to laugh 100 to break the
Yep, yeah. And, that I think depends on the content and what you guys are doing. There are definitely interviews where I would not be cracking jokes, but there definitely are ones where you can be a little more casual. It all just depends. Who it is, what the story's about, and what's going on.
Because when I interviewed Tom Grossi, it happened to be after the international tour.
Sure.
Weeks after. So I was like one of the first ones to ask.
So you got to know, you want to ask them those questions. Say, I know you did X, Y, and Z all the way down, and we're going to talk about it. You're not just going to say, hey, how was it?
Right. And it was like weeks after he broke $1 million for charity. So I had the privilege of asking him, like, hey, how did you feel about breaking $1 million? And it was
exactly. So there's educated questions that you can go into it where it's not just, hey, you're just another person with a phone. Right. You're a person that knows what they're doing and put the work in, so you're not wasting my time.
Right. And I think Tom appreciated that we didn't.
I'm sure he did, because I'm sure that he has dealt with people that did not.
And it's like, so for me, when I was prepared, I watched actually his former interviews with other people, so I know what questions not to ask.
Sure.
Because it gets you, like, I'm sure you didn't.
Well, things get repetitive. Sure. There's always going to be questions you're going to ask each other.
But I tried not to.
Yeah. Going in with something that is different is always a good piece of advice, I'd say.
They said noted, thanks for you. By the way.
And that doesn't mean hours. That means, just a little bit of time.
No, yeah, that's a great point. I don't know. So I only have 3 more questions, I think. Nope. Speaking of Tom Grossi, I told you this was coming. Actually, I don't know if I told you. Tom Grossi watches this episode. What would you say to him?
The easy one is very simple to me, and it's keep it up. Right? I mean, because a lot of times when things like this happen, it's easy to kind of wash your hands and say, I did it. And I know that that's not him based on what I know and what I've heard at least. But I always say, keep it up, because just because you stop doesn't mean somebody else is going to.
Girl's calling you out right now. I love it.
It's all right. I'm used to it.
Ryan doesn't drink out of
That's typically true. But they didn't sell pitchers at the 7-Eleven across the street. So I did what I could. Okay.
Wait, is that like your assigned pitcher or something?
No, every time I go, I order a pitcher with a straw.
Oh, that's how you guys do it. Because that Watson guy that you were mentioning, I saw him do it, and I'm like,
yeah, I just tell our bartender, I say, I want a pitcher with a straw, because I'm already gonna have it. So
might as well do it. Yeah. Like I told you, I have 2 questions from Cowboy fans. And one of them is, do you believe Jordan Love is meeting expectations so far this season?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I mean, my expectations or who's, well, that's a good, whose expectations?
This was from a Cowboys fan, so I don't know.
I think that he's meeting my expectations. I don't think that he's meeting everyone's expectations, because I think a lot of people anticipated him to be as hot as he was at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. But if you told me at this time, if you told me after the end of the season last year that come week 11, they were going to be 7-3 and a game and a half back in the division, I would say, okay, like that's good with me. I think if you told any Packers fan that they were going to be 7-3 at the week 11 after the bye, I would feel good about that. So I would say so. I think there's more that he can do, but I think that at the end of the day, wins are hard to come by in the NFL, and when you're winning games, you can't complain.
Mm-hmm. I just have to put this up on.
Yeah, I don't even really know what the hell.
Oh!
Here, so.
Wait, what?
I don't even know what the hell that is, but
Oh.
But well, I do yeah, the pictures are good.
That's something that Gorilla and I only get. It's an inside joke, kind of. I will say, if you come to the Vikings game, you will get to experience it.
All right, well, I will be there because I go every week.
What Gorilla and I have plans.
Actually, what week is that?
17th.
17th. Yeah.
That's my next time I'll be at the Oasis, actually.
December what?
It's closer to Christmas. Or after Christmas.
16th is a Monday.
Right. So it'd be that Sunday.
Oh, then I won't be here.
Oh. Wow.
I'll be in Scottsdale, actually.
Okay, so we'll record. Well, we're going to have it recorded.
I will not be passing up a free trip to the desert. I'll be all right with that.
Girl and I.
I'll watch the Packers game from Phoenix.
Oh, no.
Yeah, see, I don't do that.
See, if you knew what we were talking about, it's hinting what we're going to do in December.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be recorded, though, so you guys can watch it.
All right, fair enough.
So you can watch it too, Ryan. That might be a surprise.
All righty.
And there might be shotgunning involved. Shotgunning beer involved.
I usually do it outside before the game starts anyway.
Shotgunning spotted cow, though.
That doesn't sound good for your stomach.
You're the second person that told me that.
Oh, I'm feeling it right now.
Uh-oh. And this is my first shotgunning experience, too.
It's not going to go well.
Great.
It's not going to go well. That's not the beer to shotgun. No.
Oh,
I would not advise you to do that.
What beer is?
Light.
Light?
Like any light beer. That's not that.
Gorilla, that's for you to figure it out.
You will throw up.
Oh, got it.
If you've never shotgun a beer before and you're going to shotgun a spotted cow, you will throw up.
Okay. So
or at the bare minimum, you will make a fool out of yourself.
What beer would you recommend?
Anything light. Like this is fine. Anything you're going to go buy at a gas station that's light beer is going to be a lot easier.
Would seltzer be okay?
Because I know more carbonated, it'll be tougher. But
well, I mean, like people shotgun sodas all this time.
Yeah, I mean it's not enjoyable, but like people get the job done. No.
Okay. Got it. Also, is it realistic to say Detroit has the division locked down?
No, not even close. Not even close.
Okay.
And if they feel that way, I think they're in trouble too.
Okay.
Because it's not just us.
Right.
We have a game against both those teams left.
All three of them, actually.
Well, yeah, but I don't care about the other one.
Oh.
They're already worried about drafting Cheddar Sanders. Not actually, but they are not worried about the playoffs. The Bears are out. Like, and you can try and tell me that they're not, but they're not, right?
Bears fan left. You're good.
But no, that's okay. They know it too. But yeah, I mean, I think that those games matter a lot, and Detroit has other games to play too. And is there a chance they lose one? Of course there is. Like any team, nobody thought the Chiefs were going to lose, and they lost, right? There are teams that can beat those teams. And yeah, we're a game and a half back. I do not think in any capacity that they're out of losing. Yeah. I think it's very realistic that they could win if they do what they did previously and get hot at the right time.
Okay. So we have 3 more questions. I know
3 more questions. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Don't say that. We usually go longer if that helps.
Oh, okay. All right.
Tom Grassi, we only had 39 minutes. So you beat Tom's record, if that means
I guess
anything.
so.
Okay. These are from Bears fans a little bit. Actually, 2 of them are. Because I kind of took out one of his questions earlier. Just for you.
Okay.
So, 5 favorite non-Packers players ever.
5 favorite non.
Ever.
I've already told you about Josh Allen, who is my Lord and Savior and my favorite person in the world. Just because I think he's a great guy as a person, but also I think he's awesome as a quarterback. And he's one of very few people in the NFL that I would rather have than Jordan Love on my team.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there's many guys like that. I think he is certainly one of them. Current, you said, right?
Ever.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Personally, I have always loved Darrelle Revis as well, because I didn't grow up in that Dion era, right? But I've never seen someone completely take a side away of the field like he has.
Okay.
Where they will not put the ball on your side of the field because you are there. Never seen that before. And I don't really think you see it often now either. Where you just there's nothing you can do. Back in the day, and not as much now, I was always a huge Deebo Samuel fan as well. Solely because I think that he is so fun to watch play, because you can put that man anywhere. He's sort of the Micah Hyde of offense in a way, where he's sort of a Swiss Army knife, and you can plug and play him at every position on the offense, and you never know what's coming. He's sort of what you wanted Calvin or Tavon Austin to look like.
Yeah.
You know, so I've always been a fan of him. I got a couple more, huh? I got two more.
Yeah.
I gotta think about these though.
And Chad could always help you.
No. I gotcha. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think of the jerseys I have in my closet. Well, this easy one for me is Donovan McNabb, because he's a Syracuse guy,
Right.
and we don't have a lot of those that are good in the NFL.
And
I grew up watching Syracuse anyway because my mother went as well. So I've been a fan since I was a kid, and I still have not seen a better man in orange than him. And for the same reason I go along with that, Marvin Harrison Sr. is the other one that I take. Not Junior. Junior has not done anything for me, especially in fantasy football. But But Senior and him were unbelievable, and then took that to the next level, and are just what you would want to watch. Like they're the kind of guys that you watch and you're like, this is why I watch football. I know that's probably a wild list for you though.
No, you're fine.
But Josh Allen is absolutely number one.
I'm not telling my Bears fans that. I'll just give them the timestamp. It's okay.
It's okay. There'll never be a Bear on that list.
Ooh. Hey, he did have it at once, because I don't remember this one.
I mean, does it count if they took our leftovers? Because they do that a lot.
I mean, they took Samari Toure. So.
Okay. Take them.
This Bears fan also wanted us to keep Royce Newman. So
keep them. Yeah, take them too. Like,
take
them. Yeah, you can have those guys. There's a reason we got rid of them. Samari Toure might be getting called by the USFL. Like, we're good on that one. Yeah.
They also wanted us to keep Joe Barry. Speaking of Joe Barry.
Of course they did.
Speaking of Joe Barry, what was your thoughts? Was it time for him to go?
It was time for him to go years before.
Okay.
Years before.
Okay.
Same as Don Capers. They should have gone years before they did.
How about Mike Pettin?
Yep, all of them. He was the best out of the three, I think.
And then we have Halfway.
I think Pettin was the best out of the three.
Oh,
because
really?
I think there were times in Pettin's tenure where at least you kind of believed in them.
True.
I don't think I ever believed in Joe Barry.
Okay.
Every year at the beginning of the season, they would tell me, believe in Joe Barry. And then by week 3, I didn't believe in Joe Barry anymore.
Yeah. Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, same way.
No, do you think
Bye-bye, Mike.
Oh, okay. Where do you think he goes?
I don't think anybody wants to hire Mike McCarthy right now.
Oh, well, a lot of us said back to the Jets. A lot of us said that. Do you think? No?
I think that if Mike McCarthy gets fired by the Cowboys this year, which is certainly a possibility at this point, I pray to God that the NFL is smart enough to realize that he is not a good football coach.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not a fan of coaches outliving their success, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I'm sure you're a Bucs fan as well. I hate Doc Rivers.
Okay.
because Doc Rivers won a NBA championship, in 2003?
Right.
And he's still getting hired in the NBA because he won an NBA championship 20 years ago. I am not a fan of coaches that outlive their success.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy has not done anything since that year.
Right.
For us or for them. And I think that at a certain point, you have to accept the fact that it worked then and it's not working anymore.
Gorilla text said something in the chat. Mike McCarthy, should Dallas keep him?
I don't think that Mike McCarthy is the problem in Dallas. I think Jerry Jones is the problem in Dallas.
Oh.
But usually when the owner is the problem, the owner removes the non-problem, a.k.a. the Jets. Right. I don't think that Saleh is a bad coach, and I don't think Joe Douglas is a bad GM. I think Woody Johnson is a bad owner, and they weren't listening to him because he was giving bad advice, so he fired them.
Okay. So you think
I could see Mike McCarthy getting fired, but I don't think that if it was up to me, I wouldn't fire him. I don't think he's a bad coach. I just don't think he's a good coach.
I don't think he's ready to coach another team, personally.
No, I don't think he would.
Should he retire?
No, I think they should go get Belichick.
There's been rumors. I thought of this. What about Belichick to the Raiders, though? Because Brady is part-time owner of the Raiders.
Belichick is not going to go to a place that's in shambles. He's going to go to a place where the pieces are there.
Okay.
He's going to go to a team like the Cowboys, or I would have said the same thing about the Chargers last year, where the pieces are there. You got the guy. You have the pieces. You just got to figure out the team. Mm-hmm. The Raiders don't have the guys or the team or the culture to win.
Sure.
I mean, who on that Raiders team would you even want on the Packers right now?
None.
Just Max Crosby?
Yeah. And if that.
There's not a lot of guys on that team where I'm looking at that team saying, that guy would benefit my team.
Yeah.
And if I'm a guy like Belichick that has the resume for the world, I'm not going to go ruin my legacy by trying to rebuild the team.
How about the kicker for the Raiders, though? Or long snapper?
If the long snapper is good, you're teaching me that today.
Daniel Carlson on the Raiders.
I mean, fine. Because I'm fine with McManus.
Well, I'm only saying Carlson because we only have him for 1 year. This is his only year on his deal, though.
Yeah. So I just, if you're a guy like him, you're going into a situation that's taken care of. I don't think you're going – and a storied franchise as well. I think that matters to somebody like him.
Do you think we keep McManus for another season after this one?
I think if he plays to the level he has played this year, there is no reason why they shouldn't. Okay. Now, they could certainly draft a guy, put him on the practice squad, and let him kick.
True.
You
kind of mentioned it, Rich Bisaccia. Let him go, keep him.
He's one of those glue guys, I think. Okay. But even though everybody loves him, they haven't been good.
Right.
It was a great hire until the fact that they've still been bad the whole time. Mm-hmm. I don't think the special teams has been bad this year. The kicking's been bad. I don't think the special teams has been bad.
Right.
I the only thing I can think of is Jaden Reed muffed one punt, and that's really all I've thought about. I don't think they've had a kick blocked. I don't think they've had any other issues.
Long snapper is bad too, but
Whalen's great. I think that McManus is more than capable of doing his job for a good team. I think that let's see how it goes at the end of the year. And if they're bad, probably. Okay. And if they stay where they are right now, probably not.
I mean, look at Carlson. He's on the Jets.
Yeah. Well, so is everybody else.
Sure. What about Tua Gorilla?
What about him?
Does he go, stay?
I think that's Tua.
He just got a contract.
Oh, yeah, he got paid. It's up. Tua's either staying or he's leaving because he can't play football anymore.
It was the same day that Jordan Love got his contract, actually.
Tua is either staying in Miami or going to that, and that's the end of it.
No dropping kickers.
I mean, I wanted Richard. So.
And then the drop, though?
Yes.
Would you really? What would you?
Richard was taken in, I think, the 5th round.
Oh, wow.
He's a 5-year kicker at Alabama.
Okay.
He has scored more points at Alabama than any player ever.
Oh, wow.
And I think that his career field goal percentage was like 96%.
In college.
Oh,
wow. That's crazy.
So yeah, I wanted him. And just like the guy that I wanted last time the Vikings were in front of us, they drafted him too, Mr.
Who did
Justin
you want
Jefferson.
last? Oh, got it.
I loved Justin Jefferson in college. And I still personally do, actually. I'm
Yeah.
a big Justin Jefferson fan, even though he's not on our team. I think he's
Right.
very fun to watch and an unbelievable guy.
Right.
But it's the same thing. That's happened twice now. So come on, Vikings. What are we doing here?
So don't say you want a person is what I learned, and they get them. That's what I learned.
Yes. Or sometimes I say I want them, and then they're goddamn awful.
I mean, I kind of wanted Edgerrin Cooper.
When I was in college, I really wanted the Packers to draft Josh Jackson out of Iowa. Because he was awesome. He led the country in interceptions. He was unbelievable. And then I bought a jersey the day he got drafted, and I threw it in the trash when he got dropped after his first year because he was goddamn terrible.
Oh, no. What best non-quarterback player in the league currently? So you can't say quarterback.
Best non-quarterback in the league. Offense?
Let's do both.
Offense is Christian McCaffrey, 100%. There's no decision there. I don't think anybody's going to fight you on that one.
Probably Derrick Henry. Just because of the stuff that he's done with the Ravens.
Sure, but you're saying that because McCaffrey was hurt. And that's fair, and I understand that. I get it. But if I had to choose between the two of them with healthy legs, I'm taking McCaffrey every time.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because of what he can do outside of the running game. On the defensive side, personally, I am a TJ Watt fan, but I think Micah Parsons is better.
Oh, okay.
Because I think that Micah Parsons does more than just run and rush the passer.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had to take one of the two of those guys on the Packers, it would be TJ Watt because he fits better. But I like Micah Parsons.
Preston Smith getting traded to the Steelers.
See ya.
Oh.
Goodbye.
Okay. So you weren't.
Wasn't doing anything for us.
Sure.
Might as well get something in return.
Okay. They
didn't trade him because he was impacting the games.
Right. I'm going to regret saying this.
It hurts because these guys are guys you love and they've been leaders on the team and you don't want them to leave. But it's a business, and when you're not impacting the game, teams like to move on. They got something in return for a guy that wasn't doing anything, that was losing snaps to Quay and Edgerrin Cooper. And if you're losing snaps to Quay Walker, you need to go.
That says something. One of the players that you, like you said, you wanted but did bad, I wanted Lucas Van Ness so bad.
I don't think he's doing badly. I just think that it's a Rashawn Gary thing, and it's going to take time.
Okay. Do you think we keep Rashawn Gary? Is that another Jair situation?
Yes, you keep Rashawn Gary. He is young enough where you extend him. He is a guy now.
Well, we just extended him. But.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Oh, you're right. But that's what I'm saying. Like he's the guy that you keep because he's impacting the play too much. Rashawn Gary went to my rival high school back in New Jersey.
Yeah.
He hit Tommy DeVito, Mr. Cutlets, harder once in a high school football game than I have ever seen anyone be hit before.
Oh, wow.
So when the Packers drafted him, I go, that guy. Yeah, he's got it.
Okay. Okay. I have a feeling I know what you're going to say for this question. What message do you have for any Bears fans that are watching? I have a feeling I know what you're going to say.
Okay, well, you can say that, but I'm just going to say, try again next year with a different coach.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
No, you thought I was going to say they still suck?
Yep.
No, yeah, they know that. They know that. No, I don't have to say that. No, the reality is try again with a new coach. And that's why these quarterbacks keep getting screwed, is because every year they draft a guy, it doesn't work with the coach they had before, they get rid of them, they have to learn a whole new system, and by year 3, they're still not there, and they move on. I don't know if Caleb's going to have that problem, but I don't think that Eberflus is staying, and I think that if Eberflus stays, it is a huge win for the Packers because he is a bad coach.
Yeah. I shouldn't say this. I was going to say stop taking quarterbacks, Bears, that are Packer fans. We saw this with Mitch Trubisky.
I love Mitch Trubisky. I have no problem with Mitch.
Oh, we saw this with Mitch Trubisky.
Jay Cutler is my favorite. He might be my favorite NFL player because every year he comes out and gives us a free 2 wins.
Yeah. And Caleb Williams was a Packers fan.
Yep. So, you do your thing, right? It is what it is. So.
Okay. So that's all the questions that we had. It was easy. I told you.
It was easy.
However, we're not done.
We're not done. Okay.
We have a little bit left.
All right.
You only have a second drink. Or third? Is that your
I
third?
had a little bit left, so.
I asked the chat already if they had any more questions. However, we already sprinkled them in. Kind of. It's kind of confusing. See, this wasn't that bad for your first podcast.
No,
right?
no.
Yay!
Just talk.
Are you gonna share this to your friends?
We'll see. I'll watch it back first.
Wait, what?
I'll watch it back first.
Oh. Okay.
We'll see.
Okay. Final thoughts. What are your final thoughts? What do you have for final thoughts?
As I always say after a game, on to Sunday.
Do you have a prediction for Sunday?
Yeah, I think they will win.
You think Packers will?
I do. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means, but I think that Bosa and Williams being out is a huge deal, and I will love it when we tell the 49ers, hey, you guys might not make the playoffs because of us.
Gorilla has one more question, and this is for you. Not for me this time. How do we get this podcast on the news? He's wondering.
I'm not a pimp nor a promoter.
Come on now.
I have been trying to get the Oasis fan club on there, though.
Oh.
'Cause I think that's a good story. Just how crazy it's gotten and how all the things they've done. I think that would be a fun thing to share at some point. So I've been trying to get somebody to come out for that.
You mentioned the Oasis. Can you explain how it was owned by a Bears fan or Chicago?
I don't know the whole story. I just know that the owners are from Chicago and they're Packers fans. So once they bought the place and whipped it up, that was the decision. It's Florida State on Saturdays, Packers on Sunday, and
Okay.
That's all I know about the creation. It's been going on since before I moved down here. So
Okay.
But good.
Gorilla had a thing to say about the followers. He was suggesting putting QR codes on all the tables at the Oasis, and I'm like,
I would think you probably need permission to do that, but you could certainly print it out and give it out to people if you wanted to.
I know, but I told him printer, like ink, was an issue.
That might be easier.
It's a lot of money to do that. But hey, I do have connection to the owner, kind of.
There you go. So you'll be all right.
Mr. Gorilla sent it to me, luckily. Yay, Gorilla, thank you. I won't be sure. Oh no. Chicago Packers are elite.
I would imagine so. It's like living in enemy territory, And
his parents are Bears fans. And I'm going to say this anyways. If he doesn't want me to, I'm sorry. He made his mom drink out of a Packers cup after that win.
Good. She's learning.
Glorious. I don't know about that.
She's learning.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming on. I know you said this was your first ever podcast, and we appreciate you coming back on. Or coming on. If you want to come on back on, you are more than welcome. You should know this.
Just let me know.
Stop. You and Mr. Gorilla should come on an episode. I know he said he wouldn't.
Tell that little fucker to get out here, and then we'll do it.
He's in chat. Tell him yourself.
Come out here.
Oh, and then we can do it in person. All three of us.
Sounds great. Give me the
I
look,
don't know if our audience is ready for all three of us, though.
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay. Where can people find you? What do you have coming out? I know.
Turn on the TV and put number 2 in the box.
NBC2.
There you go.
Is that just for Florida residents or?
Down here, yeah. Not down here. Look it up online. Easy stuff.
Do you guys have like a YouTube channel?
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah. Same thing.
Okay. I'll send you
Or just me. Look up my name. You'll find everything.
I didn't put your last name in the chat. Do you want to say?
All right. It's Arbogast, which you're not going to be able to spell, which is Arbogast.
I got told to send you a video from James of his mom drinking from a Packers cup.
I love it.
We have that.
I'll watch it when we click off. All right. I got you.
Great job, Brian. Gorilla, no. You were supposed to say, oh, come on, Gorilla. You already told me you would. I don't know. He already told me he would. But I don't know if he was drunk, is the thing.
Fair enough.
It was after the game. So obviously, do you have Blue Sky by any chance?
What's that?
Are you kidding me? I literally had to teach Gorilla about this. It's basically the new Twitter, kind of.
But we have Twitter.
I know, but it's new. It's owned by a different person. apparently.
Okay, but is this like one of these like where they're gonna try and pretend like Threads is a
I
thing?
have no idea. I have Threads. I don't use it.
Yeah, neither does anybody. That was the whole point, right?
Like I have basically all social media. Speaking of
Yeah,
that,
you're gonna catch me on Twitter, and that's gonna be it.
wait, how do you not follow me? But Gorilla follows me on Instagram. Or
You'll find it. You'll find me. It's just my last name.
Oh, okay. See, Gorilla followed me on Snapchat. What else?
Yeah,
Facebook,
I don't have that. No,
and TikTok.
No Snapchat for me.
He followed me like on TikTok, Facebook.
No. I don't have any of that. No, just the regular.
Probably better for you.
I don't do the whole TikTok stuff. No,
it's fun, but it's like I don't know.
too much.
Follow me at Mary9811. Oh no, find me at Mary90118710. All Packer numbers.
There you go.
That's how I say it because it was Bears fans said it was about Bears numbers at one point. It's not.
It's just numbers, really.
Yes, it's basically all my favorite players, kind of.
Okay, well there you go.
Lucas Van Ness, Romeo Dobbs, because I told one of my friends, Justin, at the time. I literally told him we're going to draft Romeo Dobbs before. Literally, we were on the clock, and I called it. We would draft Romeo Dobbs. And Sammy Watkins or Jaden Reed now, and then Jordan Love for that ending. I have to put my boy Sammy Watkins in there somewhere.
Whatever.
I have to. Anyways, because there's no podcast next week, Ryan, you're probably the end of this week, actually, for this podcast, and we appreciate that. Gorilla knows what I'm about to say. I will be doing a live next week. However, it might be with a Gorilla fan. I'm not going to say who, because I don't know if it's on this channel, unfortunately.
All right.
You know what? I will give them a shout out because I promised them I would. Everyone, please subscribe to Sounds Gouda on YouTube. They're about to hit 1 year, about to hit 6 months on YouTube. And yeah, please help them reach the big 150. Please help us reach 150 too while I'm saying that. Do you have anything else to say, Ryan?
No, you got it. Thanks, Mary. I appreciate it.
And also, please subscribe to this podcast. We appreciate it. Ryan, are you even subscribed?
If I'm not, I'll check when I get out of here. If I'm not.
Yay! We appreciate that.
Of course.
As always, you guys will always find us here at this podcast. Also, Ryan, I have a quick question, but I'll ask you off live if you don't mind.
You got it.
Yay. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Stay in back behind the scenes, and I'll ask you really quick.